morning. I'm Ali. I'm here to do the Advent reflection this morning. So this morning we're reflecting on the first chapter of Matthew, which is Matthew 1. It's verses 1 to 17. And if you look at it, it's an interesting part to read. It's a genealogy of Jesus. So it goes through everyone in his line. So in my box today, I've got Mary from the Nativity. So Matthew is quite interesting in that he is a writer and he loves things like history. I'm not a big fan of history. I'm struggling a little bit. I'm doing a church history module at the moment, and I love the way that my lecturer speaks so passionately about history. I don't necessarily share that passion. I gave up history before GCSE. I've never been that interested in things like going to ancient ruins and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily a part of my something that I particularly love. But they have imparted to me a level of passion about the history of the church. And that's exactly what Matthew's trying to do here. He's trying to impart an excitement, a level of anticipation and hope in the list of people in the family tree, and it's Jesus's family tree. So that is Matthew saying, look, here he is. This is the Messiah. He's come down from David. These are all the people that have been in his family tree, in his history, in his background. And within that, there are just so many people who are completely normal. So if you read through it, you've actually got 4 women, which usually the genealogy would all be on the male side. It wouldn't at all touch women. It wouldn't go near them. But there are 4 women that in the genealogy, and that is a nod. They're all also women who have kind of gone through a lot. One's a widow, one was a prostitute. There are different kind of backgrounds to those women, but they're all completely ordinary and normal, and they're just part of his family tree, and they aren't royalty. And that's the point that I think Matthew's trying to make here, or one of the points he's trying to make, that Jesus wasn't born from pure aristocratic blood. He was born from normality. So he came to us as a normal human, and he obviously fully God as well as being fully human. But he came into our world, into the mess, into the muddle, into the mire of the world, and he was completely normal. He was just like you and I, other than the fact that he was also fully God. So that's an interesting kind of take on it, take on the genealogy. Usually I kind of gloss over them a bit and jump to the bottom. This one is so important because the Bible, Matthew is saying, see, here is the Messiah, just as he was promised. He comes down from the generations of David, and that is exactly the prophecy. He has come to fulfill the prophecy, and he's come to fulfill the prophecy through completely normal people like Mary. She's a bit of a chubby Mary. Have a look at her. She's from a nativity set actually that was made in Latin America, and I've got quite a thing for South America and Latin America. So Jay bought it for me a few years ago. But I do love it actually, and it really it reminds me as well of the fact that Jesus wasn't born as a Western white person. So that's another thing that I particularly love about it, is the depiction of the reality of the nativity in a completely different culture, that it looks different, and I love it for that. So that's my main thought, is that Jesus came from completely normal background. He didn't come from an aristocratic heritage, but he came from totally normal people, completely ordinary, and he fulfilled the prophecy that was in the Old Testament. So that is something that we can take away, isn't it? That normality, out of normality comes the extraordinary, doesn't it? It comes things like Jesus, the presence of Jesus that we can take with us wherever we are. We are able to do that, to be filled with the presence of the Holy Spirit, and we can be like Jesus for the world around us. So that was my reflection today.